When you go out into nature with the intention of finding something from its loins that is valuable, that has existed for millions of years and just has its own little secrets and its own little distinct energy, there's something very adult yet childish to that remarks a certain marvel in the human spirit. So it's not just out looking for crystals, you're hunting for treasure.
Yeah.
Leaf Life.
For centuries, amateur geologists and outdoor enthusiasts have found joy in hunting nature's breadbasket to find the wondrous cornucopia of rocks, fossils, and minerals that hide amongst the trees, rivers, and beyond. And while some will call it a hobby, many call it a living. This is rockhounding.
I like to smoke my diamonds, but not my rocks.
Our first segment, hunting for treasure. And our second segment, curiosity and cannabis. But before we get educated, we've got to get medicated. So let's get stoned. Woo. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Off to the races, wherever your day is leading you currently. Now it's time for you, the listener, whom we appreciate desperately, to fire up, chew up, or drink up, but get in the mood as we introduce this show's Greg the Guinea Pig.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Greg the Guinea Pig. Who's our guest this week?
That's right. Look, she's
Greg the Guinea Pig warning. These tasks are undertaken by experienced cannabis users and under the supervision of accredited professionals. So please take our advice and definitely try this at home.
Thank you for that, Doobie. She's giggling already. Rachel CALDWELL is the COO of Evergreen Herbal here in Washington State, where we broadcast from Leaf HQ, and an avid rockounder in the Pacific Northwest. Rachel, welcome to the Leaf Live podcast.
Hey, thanks, Ricker. Hey, everyone.
All right. There she is, you guys. All right, let's spin that wheel, AJ, and see what she's going to be hitting.
All right.
Oh, what's in AJ's stash?
She got AJ in that big old stashy bag.
All right, y'all. We've got something fire. We've got some Zen lemon cherry gelato. So this is a sherbet times Girl Scout cookies. I'm super stoked for you to try it. Look at the nugs. Look at the trichome and just beautiful hand-trimmed nugs.
Stoked.
Zen Cannabis is a really high-grade farm, and I think you're going to have an incredible experience with this. Let's get you lit up here.
Those are some frosty nugs, like purple, so trichomed out. That's just gorgeous.
When you can smell
So these
it from
guys are
like
actually high school
It smells
OG
great.
friends, y'all. The owners of Zen Cannabis, they were high school OG friends, and they wanted to help elevate the space here in Washington State. They're actually traditional growers, so they've been around since medical days and bringing some true fire to the market.
Thank you.
It reminds me of the two high school friends that started our magazine here. It's pretty cool.
Myself and Daniel.
Yeah, pretty cool how many people come from OG days into the industry.
Definitely. It is a friendship builder, cannabis.
Oh, yes.
You know, like, you don't hang out with your drinking friends usually for like 30 years, but those weed friends, you know, those are like back in college. But the weed friends are friends for life.
That tastes so good. Tastes real earthy, but like fresh. Yeah.
Yes,
I
I,
love a good
agree.
berry. Mhm.
Very smooth and earthy. It's got a little bit of gassiness to it.
She puts that hemp wick out. If you're on YouTube, you saw it with her, you know, the flame, and she just pinches it.
I have a little
baby.
gassiness to myself. Just kidding.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, so let's talk about rock hunting. This is going to be fun. Hunting for treasure really is kind of like that. I remember when I was a kid, I think it was like my 11th birthday or my 10th birthday party or something like that. My dad built a treasure hunt map, right? And the kids at the party had to find out where certain things were around the neighborhood. And it was the coolest thing. And that left an indelible impression upon me of discovery, right? I love hidden things and finding something like an Easter egg hunt. But when you go out into nature with the intention of finding something from its loins that is valuable, that has existed for millions of years and just has its own little secrets and its own little distinct energy, there's something very adult yet childish to that remarks a certain marvel in the human spirit. So it's not just out looking for crystals, you're hunting for treasure.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way, at least for me, and I think some of us at the table. And you don't even have to go far. Just walking along the coast up at Deception Pass, I found petrified wood and jasper and some other, and so neat to hold something that has just been here, longer than anyone will ever know in many lifetimes. So it feels like treasure. It's something old and special, common in some areas and maybe for some people, but I come from the Midwest. We don't have a great, deal of, history there as far as like the land goes. It's pretty flat and kind of boring. And here, there's lava flows that have come through this land. And the earth here in Washington has been really kind of, it's seen some history, I think you can say. And so that's definitely changed and made different things available.
And like a treasure map,
Yeah.
it's out there. You just don't know quite where it is.
Yeah.
And there can be surprises around every turn.
For sure.
Now, the best places to look in the woods or on a river?
So rivers and like waterways are some of the best areas to find it, especially depending on what you're looking for. In Washington, there's a lot of different runoffs from the mountains. And that, as that earth erodes and breaks down, some of that treasure comes downstream. And so that's a great place to look. There's also like in Oregon, there's obsidian that you can find, and that has all come from the lava flows. And so that, it depends what you're looking for is where you want to start.
And so there is an intention to it. Like certain geographical areas will have typical rocks, right?
Yeah.
I know out in Ellensburg, Washington, which is in central Washington, it's very famous for having the blue agate, which is a highly sought after rock. And it has, if you find a really good one that's like dense in color, it's got value to it. And like I said in the opening, a lot of people make their living collecting these precious rocks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you go out to like BLM land, I was talking about obsidian in Oregon, there's a huge flow there. And, people, you can take, I think it's like 20 pounds. You can take a lot of obsidian per day per person. And then you can go on eBay or, sell it. But we were talking about, what do you call when you made that pipe, right? We're pointing at this pipe
is a
on the
wood
table.
pipe that Jerry carved for Wes. We did a show called Wood Pipes. Jerry's a very special friend of the podcast. He was on the cover of our Weed and Wellness issue actually in January. He's a Viking with very long red hair. And he whittled this over 800 hours, this pipe, as a gift to Wes.
Yeah, all hand carved, no power tools. I use all chisels and old techniques. But on the topic of rock hounding, I'm an avid rock hounder, and a lot of my creations, like this one, actually has about 10 different opals in it. And I use crushed natural minerals as overlay in a lot of my pipes to add color. And speaking of like finding treasures on that, so Oregon has a natural sunstone, which it's the only place to find it in the world. Beautiful, beautiful color. But what I really wanted to talk about is in Arkansas, there is a national park. It's the only open diamond mine in the world. And you can go there just as an individual and pick out raw diamonds. Some guy found a huge one, like 6 carats.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and they're free. They're free to keep. If you find it, you keep it.
Really?
Yeah, it's the only place in the world.
Fee?
Yeah, you pay a day fee. And you can also buy pay dirt is what they call it, by the bucket, and you can just sit and sift and stuff because they got a lot of stuff there for kids. So you can just like buy buckets for kids to sit in a little shack and wash the material. And you got little like 5-year-olds finding huge diamonds or tiny chips.
What part of Arkansas is that?
I don't know the exact city.
Okay,
I don't
look
know.
it up.
But it's in Arkansas, 90% diamond mine. All you have to look up is public diamond mine. It'll come right up.
So what are you looking for? What are some of your favorite things to find? And oftentimes, is it like just a normal rock that you have to break open to get to the center where the gem is?
Yeah, so some are that way. There's thunder eggs in Oregon, which are that way. I really like petrified wood. It's one of my favorites. I just like, it's beautiful seeing the ridges. You can still see like all the, different indentations from the wood. I also really like picture jasper. I haven't gotten into cutting my own rocks. I don't know what that's called. I haven't started doing that.
Lapidary.
But thank you. Yes. Amazing.
Lapidary work. Yeah, that's a stone cutter.
Yeah. And so jasper's beautiful. Picture jasper's really cool. You can get some beautiful like scenes, especially outdoor scenes in picture jasper if it's cut the right way. So that's like
what do you mean by that?
Oh, you can see, I mean, it'll look like a mountainscape or a tree next to an oasis in a desert.
By the way the rock formulates when it's cooling or whatever, it just has a built-in design.
Yeah.
And that's significant of that particular rock.
For sure. Yeah. And it depends how you cut that particular rock. It kind of dictates how cool it's going to look or how beautiful. There's here in Seattle in Pike Place, there's a gentleman who specializes in picture jasper, and he's got some really cool stuff. And that really inspired me.
That's Pike Place Market. That's the famous market where they throw the fish in downtown Seattle.
Yeah.
I actually busted out some of my rock hounded finds for you today. So this is a piece, it's got green peridot from the Hawaiian Islands, from Big Island, from the lava flow actually is how it's created. And then here, this is called Hellanite. It's actually from Mount St. Helens lava flow.
So that's a pendant that AJ's wearing around her neck as a necklace, of course.
And these are stones that I actually rock hounded myself. You did? And and then had them custom made into this piece here with copper.
It looks turquoise to a degree.
It actually represents the different tribal nations that I have in my blood.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, Kanakameole. And then, culturally, I was born and raised Yakima, and my family took us to Yakima Nation powwows. My father was actually tribal birth at Yakima Nation, on Yakima Nation land. So even though my bloodline is not tied directly to Yakima Nation, it's culturally a part of my identity as well. So very interesting how that works with bloodlines, culture, and everything. But stones are so important to us as well as Indigenous peoples. And I feel like Black obsidian is a huge one, especially down in Mexico and below, south of the border. It was considered of higher value than gold, So when the Spaniards came over and they were like infatuated by the gold, wasn't a big deal to our people because Black obsidian had such an immense amount of uses that it was actually the gold of our people. Yeah. And I've been out to Oregon rock hounding obsidian as well. I've got quite a bit of obsidian pieces and things that I've made, and I love that. You're sitting in a row of rock hounders right here.
Yeah. Well, and it's cool because there's so many different kinds. Like there's one place we were at in Oregon, they had rainbow obsidian. I mean, in this one area, you can find 5 or 6 different kinds of obsidian. So, if Google is, I think, your best friend if you want to do some rock hounding. But I love how you found a way to incorporate your heritage and how you chose to do that with the gems and the rocks. That's beautiful.
It's really kind of tapping into a frequency because that's what's inside the rock and also inside of our blood and our hearts as well. And there is a union between the minerals of the earth and what makes us up as well. And I think tapping into that can be something really special. In the second segment, we'll talk about curiosity and cannabis and how cannabis can be a real benefit to going out rock hounding and hiking and stuff. But first, Rachel, it's time for you to play Would You Rather.
Great.
Would you rather? Would you rather do? Would you rather?
Both.
Always.
I choose.
I love it when we get choices, man.
It's one or the other, sister.
Okay. Let me do my best.
There's no both.
All right.
You can't have the cake and eat it too.
But I run an edible company, Wes.
Yeah, I'm aware.
What's up with Evergreen Herbal? You guys have been around forever. You've been one of the top 5 companies in the state of Washington for years. Yeah. What's the latest? You guys got rosin now.
Selling rosin. Really excited to launch something new. We've sold edibles for, quite a long time, over a decade. It's been nice to sell rosin, being able to connect with the bud tenders and just, letting people consume some new products from a brand that they already know and trust.
Yeah, you got to stay on the cusp in this industry and always have new products and juicy, new, delicious ways to consume cannabis. All right, Rachel. Here we go. You ready?
Ready.
Number 1. Would you rather have the most beautiful face in the world and a grody body or have a perfect body and a grody face?
On earth.
Wow. This is good. Okay. Coming in hot, and I got to be quick.
Real questions.
Real questions. I'm going to go perfect body, medium to bad face.
Grody face.
Grody face. Grody face.
Okay.
This hits a spot here for women. I don't know.
Okay.
Hey, tough one, bro.
That didn't feel great, but
this is life.
Didn't feel great.
This is leaf life. At least you didn't get awkward.
Okay.
Number 2. Would you rather live in the world's most amazing castle on a deserted island with your soulmate, or live in a big shack in Shangri-La with all your friends?
Ooh.
Oh, wow. I'm going to pick my significant other. Sorry, friends. You guys can kick rocks.
Cool. The world's most amazing castle. That sounds great.
Yeah, I love a big castle. Yeah.
Your friends will come over anyways.
Yeah, I need to light my bong with my candelabra.
Go easy.
Yes, queen.
Yeah.
And number 3. Would you rather lead Evergreen Herbal to remarkably upward trending advancements that results in aggressive expansion, directing the company to become the leader in cannabis consistency in international markets all over the planet, making you and your partners icons for a company that represents quality and integrity while earning recognized awards and achievements en route to prominence in your home country as well as abroad? Whew. Or come back for the second half of this episode of the Leaf Life Podcast.
Oh, well, it's tough because we're already doing number 1. So I'm going to go with both.
I like that.
Back to both?
Okay. We'll give you a pass. You get to come back anyways.
I love it. Thank you.
Just bring those nuts.
Secrets.
What are you talking about?
Those medicated nuts.
Yes.
That's a product by Evergreen Herbal, right? Gotcha. Okay. If you want to discover cannabis news, reviews, entertainment, and culture, and explore every single Leaf magazine at your convenience, search leafmagazines.com. Coming up in our second segment, we'll dive into how curiosity and cannabis are a beautiful thing when rock hounding. We'll also get another spin of AJ's wheel. Leaf Life's party continues in just a sec.
These products have intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming.
Marijuana can impair concentration, coordination, and judgment.
Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence of this drug.
There may be health risks associated with consumption of these products.
For use by adults 21 and older.
Keep out of the reach of children.